Hey, what's up, everyone? I just needed to talk about this. I found this to be convenient on their part to keep people blind to what's going on. I understand unplugging. First of all, everyone should understand the term unplugging. Just staying away from media, staying away from any type of screens for a certain period of time. And they want everyone to unplug today and tomorrow. March 1st and March 2nd apparently is some holiday they're calling national, or some national day, National Unplug Day. So they're telling people on the 1st and 2nd of March, that's today and tomorrow, to unplug. Obviously, I haven't done that because I'm posting videos and reading online. So, with the stresses of social media, and the stresses and anxiety of the news, and the fake news, and all of the real news can just everything out there can just take a toll on you. And I just found this to be not coincidental one bit. I found this to be very convenient on their part to keep people blind. Hold on, the dog's barking. Very convenient on their part. Check out what's happening right now. Look what was posted on the day that they want everyone to unplug. Bible prophecy coming true. Third temple in Jerusalem on the table right now. Proves his return. Now, whether or not that this is actually happening right now is up for debate. Because, the temple, they have not started construction from what I hear, but it's in talks. And it could be part of Trump's peace deal, President Trump's peace deal. He might not be the one to do it. Jared Kushner might not be the one to do it, but it is in talks right now. But I find it to be amazing how they wanted everyone to unplug the day that this is happening. They don't want anyone, they want everyone to listen to their crap all the time. They want everyone to listen to their mainstream media lies and persuasion all of the time and stay tuned in at all times to their constant of fake news and lies. And no, President Trump did not start the term fake news. Well, he popularized it. He didn't start fake news. He didn't start making people think everything was fake news. He started giving people a voice. He gave people a voice to what we already knew was fake news, and we could finally tell the truth and feel comfortable telling it. But it's not amazing, but it's pretty interesting how they told us all to unplug as this was happening, as this was in the news. Biblical prophecy of the end times is unfolding in Israel as promises of the third temple in Jerusalem
having had that comfort from health professionals,
pave the way for the second coming of Jesus Christ. Now, as you know, Paul Begley and other internet preachers, and they're not just online preachers, they preach on TV as well, but end times prophecy preachers have spoken many times about end days and, the end times prophecy. When the blood moons happened, they said this was it. Many other pastors and preachers jumped the gun, and I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to be a false prophet, and I'm not calling them out on anything in particular, but many of them make the mistake of doing that, saying, this is it now. And they were talking about the blood moons and stuff, and it did seem like it. During the last administration, they were pushing it. They were pushing it along. They said all they talk about is the Messianic agenda, the Messiah, the coming of the Messiah, the Masons, everything like that. And that's all they would talk about when they went over there with Benjamin Netanyahu, and he said that's all they can talk about. John Kerry and Obama and all of them. And Biden. But it did not wind up happening the way they wanted. Now it's happening naturally. But Bible experts believe the return of Christ will be preceded by the building of a third holy temple in Jerusalem, because it's been torn down twice, and it's believed upon the third time that it's rebuilt is around the time the final Antichrist will be here, and Jesus Christ returns. Rumors of the third temple are imminent because the temple coin was made, of Osiris and Trump being side by side, and they said this marks the very beginning of the rebuilding of the third temple. A serpent, a snake, did slither out of the wall in Jerusalem, or Israel, and scared off a dove, which maybe the snake was just hungry. I don't know, but many seen it as an omen or a sign. Who knows? But many dominant or prominent doomsday preachers believe that the advisor of Donald Trump, Jared Kushner, is in the Middle East at this very moment to secure a peace deal. It didn't go down as exactly as they thought, because he was trying to secure a peace deal. He was pushing he was talking to 7 different nations, I believe, 7 including Israel, regarding the peace deal, and he was trying to push the peace deal over there. And he was there on a trip for a few days. Now he's heading back to the United States. But many of the preachers, the doomsday preachers especially, believe that that Jared Kushner was trying to secure the peace deal, which does include the building of the third temple. A vocal supporter of this biblical theory is evangelist Paul Begley from West Lafayette in Indiana, United States, who believes biblical prophecy is being fulfilled right before our eyes. Now, yes, it is. On one hand, you have the Bible state that they have split up my land, and that it's wrong to do this, and that they'll be punished for it. On the other hand, it states that it has to be done prophetically. It has to be done before Jesus Christ can return. So it does state both. So according to the preacher, the firebrand preacher they call him, the third temple in Jerusalem will house the Messiah, Jesus Christ, in the days of the biblical apocalypse. He said, the third temple looks like it's on the table of this Middle East peace deal. Now the thing is, I don't understand how it states that people will have to go worship Jesus Christ every year. I don't know how everyone in this world can go do that, make a trip to Israel or their family, and they will be punished and cursed, or whatever plagues will come upon them. It will not rain on their house. That's what they stated. It will not rain for them, and that they'll be cursed, something like that. I don't understand that part. I don't know why that has to happen. If you do, give more details. But they said he's getting information, and he said, I don't want to say anything else about it. But Jared Kushner is in the Middle East, and he's going to meet 6 nations. I guess 7, including Israel. Turkey's one of them, Saudi Arabia, Oman, Qatar. There's 6 nations there, and he's talking to them about this Middle East peace deal. And, well, that's interesting. SpaceX, Israel and SpaceX just put a Hebrew Bible on the moon. Some breaking news there. There's 6 nations there, and 7, I guess, counting Israel. I don't know if that's right or not, and he's talking to them about the Middle East peace deal and how he's going to give them the private location or revelation of how this thing's going to work. This is huge. True, it is. A number of passages in our Bibles, in the Bible, allude to the third temple returning to Jerusalem before the end of this world, as we know it. The first holy temple of Jerusalem was Solomon's temple, was built on the ancient city's Temple Mount. Now, everyone pretty much agrees that Jerusalem's third temple prophecy will trigger the apocalypse, the awakening, the revealing of truth, and the veil being lifted, and Jesus Christ's return taking place. But the temple was toppled by Babylon, led by King Nebuchadnezzar II in 587 BC. Then a second temple was built, 6th century BCE, destroyed by the Romans and punished as a punishment for Jewish revolt. If the third temple, which they state that during the times in which we live, the third temple will be rebuilt during the final generation. A second temple was built, and then this is supposed to be the third. If it is, it will fulfill the outlined prophecy in the Bible, the book of Daniel, 9:27. Now, they say that the walls in Jerusalem have started to crack. Maybe that's God's natural way of I don't know if this is fact or not, but I've heard it online. Maybe that's God's way of stating, hey, you're about to fulfill prophecy. And they are planning on reorganizing, restructuring Israel's borders and changing it up. They do plan to do that. President Trump said he's had a peace deal written since the 80s, and that was his hopes and dreams and plans to single-handedly negotiate the peace accords and a peace agreement between the Israelis and Palestinians and the Middle East, and try and bring partial world peace, or if successfully denuclearizing this world. That's what he stated since he was a child. He was born 70 years before he was president. He became president on his 70th birth year and on the 70th anniversary of Israel. He was born during this blood moon eclipse, 7 years before Israel became established as a nation. And he exactly 2 years into his presidency, this eclipse happens again, and he's working on the peace deal. It does seem prophetic. Several of his family lineage names were Christ. Kind of interesting. I've often wondered, though, was Joseph's last name Christ since Jesus' last name was Christ? Just a question. But it does state, though, that they'll split up his land and... They'll split up his land, but it also states they're not supposed to, but they will, and it has to happen for Jesus Christ to return. Many people view that as a contradiction, or it's like, well, it has to happen. Why these things have to happen, I never can explain. I don't know. But I know with all of these, the whole reality shifts happening and everything, and who knows, maybe the old world ended, maybe where we were at, maybe it did, I don't know. It feels that way. It feels like something major happened. But the scripture in question reads, and he shall confirm the covenant. I don't really think that President Trump is the one to confirm this. Maybe not even Jared Kushner, but it could be paving the way for this to happen. But I'll go on to read the scripture. And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. And in the midst of the week he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease. Now the week is supposed to be 7 years. Midweek is 3.5 years, and Daniel's 70th week is the 7-year tribulation, I believe, the final 7-year tribulation, probably during a Shemitah or Shemitah, whichever you pronounce it as. And for the overspreading of abominations, he shall make it desolate, even until the consummation, and that determined shall be poured upon the desolate. I apologize for the traffic sounds outside. Jerusalem's temples were destroyed many different times throughout history, 2 times to be exact, by invading forces, and this is the 3rd rebuilding. The desolation of abomination mentioned in the Bible is the supposed arrival of the final Antichrist, who will attempt to enter the 3rd temple in these end days. Pastor Begley said, when the 3rd temple rises, scores of faithful people from around this globe, around this world, will flock to Jerusalem to worship the returned King, Jesus Christ. Now, both the final Antichrist and Jesus Christ himself are supposedly, some preachers agree, will be worshipped in that temple. They said the 3rd temple rises, scores of faithful people will go to worship him. The Christian preacher also states that a curse will come upon them if they don't come to worship the Messiah. Now, I don't know how that's possible, but that's what I remember being preached, and I don't know why people would be cursed if they don't go over there, or how we would all just travel over there. I don't know. If everything's already gone crazy and, the world as we know it is different, I don't know how we would go over there and travel every single year to Jerusalem. But the 3rd temple during the Feast of Tabernacles, it says you have to understand that this temple isn't the house for the Antichrist. It is the house for Jesus Christ himself. So we'll see what happens. The 3rd temple is supposedly where Jesus Christ will reign, they say. But a lot of people contradict themselves, and a lot of prophetic speakers and prophecy contradicts themselves a lot. themselves. They state certain things, and then other people state other things, and it's stated various ways, and everyone's still trying to figure this whole thing out. So what do you think? It does seem like prophecy is being fulfilled, again, naturally, now, instead of like they were doing last time, trying to force it and make it happen. I think 2030 to 2033 will be an important point. I still feel that strongly. I think it'll be a very important pivotal point. I think that could be during the time of the tribulation. I don't know. I don't state for sure because I don't predict the coming of Jesus Christ because, you don't know the day or the hour. That's not what I'm trying to do, but I think 2030 is important, especially with the Sustainable Development Agenda and all of their agendas that they have pushed for that time period. Agenda 2030, similar to Agenda 21 and all of that, but I'll talk more about that later. What do you think? I found it to be interesting. They want all of us to unplug these couple of days while Jared Kushner's doing that, and while the Middle East peace plan is pushing forward, and while biblical prophecy seems to be happening, they want everyone to unplug. Could it be because they want us to be left in the dark, left blind, and just only hear their rhetoric and not pay any attention to what's really going on? I don't think they wanted us to see this. Give your thoughts. They wanted us to unplug for 2 days so we don't hear what's going on, right as prophecy seems to be possibly being fulfilled. Give your thoughts. Much love, and I just try to promote peace and love to everyone, and just some thoughts. I mean, I'm not saying it's what's happening. I'm not saying that's for sure, but let's just try to live in peace and kindness. Peace, much love. God bless you all. I hope to speak with all of you again very soon. Send your prayers for positivity and good fortune, please. Also, my PayPal link is below, and my Patreon link is below as well. So feel free to support me so I can continue doing what I love and making more videos for you all and the content I enjoy to make. Peace, much love. Subscribe, like, share, and all that good stuff. Leave your comments on your thoughts. I thought it to be very, very interesting they would tell everyone to unplug when this is going on. Anyway, peace. Bye.